Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Canelo has no doubt. Who wins? Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson fight. I put my money on it. Shakur Stevenson vs Gervonta Davis is one of the most intriguing contests that could be made in boxing right now. Both of these American fighters are young champions in their prime. Davis is coming off the back of a stoppage victory over Frank Martin in July, told that was his first fight in more than a year since he stopped Ryan Garcia last April. Stevenson, the former featherweight and super featherweight champion, picked up his current WBC lightweight title with a points win over Edwin de los Santos, and then defended it with another unanimous decision in July against Artem Arutunian, but came in for some criticism after both fights for his less than fan-friendly style. Stevenson claimed his opponents didn't want to engage and that he had a hand injury, which also hampered his offensive work, while Davis is a much more notorious knockout artist, with 28 of his 30 wins coming inside the distance. Speaking to social media, Saul Canelo Alvarez was asked who would come out on top in that fight, should the current talks end in an agreement. Tough he had praise for Shakur Stevenson's defensive abilities. He cited his money would be on the power of Davis. Shakur Stevenson is a good fighter. He moves a lot and it's very difficult to hit him, but I like Gervonta Davis. He is a really good fighter. He is hard and he knows how to go forward. I put my money on Gervonta. Three-way world champion Shakur Stevenson is, by the numbers, one of the most defensively skilled boxers in the game. With a fantastic lead hand and the ability to skirt just out of range of any shots coming back, Stevenson has rarely looked troubled in the ring whilst making his way through there. Stevenson's last two bouts have been followed by criticism from analysts as being less than entertaining. His defense-first style, defined by the hit and don't get hit mantra, wins titles, but not necessarily more fans. Former world champion Sean Porter believes he will rise as his competition does, and told that Gervonta was the perfect opponent to make that happen. The fight needs to happen. I know they are gonna say that Shakur is boring. It's all about the dance partner as well. I thought he had a good dance partner in the last one. I know he still held his hands a little more than people would like him to, but he is a counter-puncher. People just don't understand that from his game, Shakur is the real deal, and I think Tank is the perfect fight for him to pull out even more of what he can do. The fight was seemingly close recently, at least the path to make it happen was clear. Stevenson, now a free agent after a deal with Top Rank came to its conclusion, was looking for a fight despite the circumstances. Both men have said that a fight being targeted for November is false, and Shakur has since been mentioned with #1 contender William Zepeda. Davis, meanwhile, may look to rematch Isaac Cruz if he comes through his latest defense against Jose Valenzuela. The rematch is justified given Cruz is just one of the two men to take the Baltimore Puncher the distance in a 13-fight campaign. Isaac Cruz and Gervonta Davis rematch is primed for next year. The prospective rematch between Isaac Cruz and Gervonta Davis will be primed for 2025. That's according to Pitbull Cruz manager Sean Gibbons, who told This Week that a second fight against Gervonta Davis is likely only a matter of time, as his fighter continues to develop a significant fan base. The 26-year-old must first dispatch his next opponent, Jose Valenzuela, whom he faces Saturday at the 22,000-capacity BMO Stadium in Los Angeles. The sole main future to Terence Crawford's return to the ring against Madrimo. So, Jose Valenzuela upset Isaac Cruz by split decision to capture the WBA junior welterweight title Saturday at BMO Stadium. One judge scored the bout 115-113 for Cruz, but was overruled by 112 and 116-112 scores for Valenzuela. The win continued a stunning turnaround for Valenzuela, who suffered back-to-back defeats in 2022-2023 at 35 pounds, following a third-round knockout loss to Edwin de los Santos. Valenzuela dropped a unanimous decision to Chris Colbert. Valenzuela's fortunes changed in the December 2023 rematch with Colbert when he scored a spectacular 6-round knockout victory. Following the win, Valenzuela moved up to 140 pounds to challenge for his first world title. He came through with a career-best performance, boxing with a discipline against the hard-charging, ultra-popular Pitbull Crows. Shakur Stevenson discusses talk with Gervonta Davis team amid rumors they will fight in November. That fight is going to happen. Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis were reportedly in agreement to clash for the unified lightweight world title in November. However, shortly after those reports were released, both fighters dispelled them as being inaccurate, but Stevenson remains optimistic about scheduling a clash with the WBA lightweight champion, although he is not sure if it will take place in 2024. Both pugilists are regarded as top talents in the boxing world and hold undefeated records of 22-0 and 30-0 respectively. During a recent interview, WBC lightweight champ shed a light on discussions with the Davis team about a potential lightweight title unification bout. He said, "They wanted to make the fight, we just told them to send an offer, we haven't heard anything back yet. Like I said, that fight is going to happen. I'm not going to act like fight is not going to happen. Me and Davis are the best fighters. Coming up, the best fighters in the 35-pound division. There is no way the fight doesn't happen. I'm not scared to fight him, he is not scared to fight me. It's going to be a hell of a fight when it happens." Shakur Stevenson backs crazy Terence Crawford to defeat Canelo Alvarez. Ahead of the clash, Stevenson shared his thoughts on Crawford's upcoming clash and labeled the former undisputed welterweight champion as crazy for his decision to move up to 54 pounds and face Madrimov. He said, "Making this decision to come up and fight this guy just proves to me how crazy he is. I think that the crazy guys are usually the greatest people in the world. I think you need a crazy upset." The WBC lightweight champ was also asked for his thoughts on BAT, potentially facing Canelo Alvarez in the future, a fight that Crawford has called for. He said, "I think you will beat Canelo. Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He is bigger. I think BAT is just a better boxer. A lot of people are gonna respect his boxing abilities if he can show it in front of the Canelo Alvarez. I honestly think he beats Canelo," he said. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.